What's going on, beautiful people? It's your girl Birikorang. Welcome back to my channel. To my new subscribers, beat up your chest. If you've not subscribed as yet, go on and click that subscribe button and help your sister grow her channel. Now let's get into this video. It's a sad one, a heartbreaking one. However, I had to learn my lesson this past few months. And I feel like this topic is going to drive in the point that I have to give my people at the end of this video. So stay tuned, keep watching, and don't forget to support your sister by subscribing. God bless.
Team. Now, him and Usher have the same teams. The only difference is, like team, management team, all that. The only difference between him and Usher is marketable. Chris Brown is not. No one wants to fool with Chris Brown really on a mainstream level because of that Rihanna situation, okay? So he hasn't really, even though he's been top of the charts, he's been able to sell his own records, but when it comes to endorsements, when it comes to things like that, they don't really fuck with Chris. Here's what happened. Do you remember, I think it was the American Music Awards or the VMAs, one of them, they were supposed to use Chris Brown to do a tribute to Michael Jackson. Okay, do y'all remember that? And Chris Brown was planning the production and everything. Tiana Taylor, as well as Sierra, was supposed to be a part of the tribute going down. Both of them later found out that they had commitments that they could not get out of. So they told Chris they couldn't do it. But because Chris is closer to Tiana, he felt like slighted, like, why are you pulling out? And then, you know what I'm saying, like we best friends, like they are so close that even regarding the Rihanna situation, Tiana Taylor will take up for like Chris Brown. Called me and was like, Tasha, here's the drop, okay? This is exactly what happened. So he felt some type of way because in his heart, he felt like Tiana maybe got the message about the American Music Awards not using him, right? And so he felt like, he felt slighted. He felt disrespected. So he's been mad with her ever since that situation. Now, here's what happened at the skate party that Usher threw for him. Now, him and Usher have the same teams. The only difference is, like team, management team, all that. The only difference between him and Usher is marketable. Chris Brown is not. No one wants to fool with Chris Brown really on a mainstream level because of that Rihanna situation, okay? So he hasn't really, even though he's been top of the charts, he's been able to sell his own records, but when it comes to endorsements, when it comes to things like that, they don't really fuck with Chris Brown like that, okay? And so the reason the American Music Awards canceled that was because they didn't want two abusers. Y'all remember that? They didn't want two abusers performing. Two abuser honoring another abuser, and then they get all this backlash, so they decided to cancel. Chris has been mad ever since then, and Sierra backed out, Tiana backed up, but for some reason he stayed mad at Tiana. Now, Usher did the whole invite for the party, paid for the party out of his pocket. They have the same management team. Here's where things get sticky. They at the party, Chris is lit. They say he on a few things, okay? He on a few things we cannot describe at the moment, okay? No one wants any more lawsuits because one of the things that he's allegedly on, you got to take a blood test for that. So it doesn't show up in your system after 24 hours, it's according to the source, okay? That's what we're going to leave it on that. Now, you just use your little imaginations, okay? Now, he lit, Tiana's at the party, instantly he changed. So the whole night he been throwing shade at Tiana. Then eventually, like, she got tired of it. He told her to get the fuck out my party. Get the fuck out my party. Now, mind you, Usher personally invited Tiana to the party. Okay? And so Usher was like, hold on. No. She not going nowhere. Tiana was like, nah, it's cool. I'm leaving. He literally calling her all types of you ain't this, you ain't that. My thing is, when my sources, I'm like, where the is Tiana's husband? I ain't seen him around in a minute, because I guarantee you, If Emmett was at that party, which he wasn't, all that shit wouldn't have went down. Like Chris wouldn't have been calling her no this and all of that, right? And besides, you at your birthday party. So Usher tries to get into it to diffuse the situation, telling Tiana she ain't gotta go nowhere. Tiana said, I'm leaving. It's embarrassing. I ain't gotta be here. So as she leaves, Chris is getting upset at how Usher handled the situation. So Chris decides to leave the party that Usher threw for him with his own money. They got the same teams. Now here's another sticky situation. Chris, and I'm gonna see if I could drop, some invitations and stuff like that. We'll see. However, I'm just trying to give y'all the real story of what happened. So Usher follows Chris outside. There's no security following them. They go outside. Usher's talking to Chris. Chris is lit. Chris's team sneaks Usher from the side and they jump him. They beat his ass over him not liking what Usher had to say. Now, Chris has always had this underlying jealousy over Usher because they have the same team, and Usher gets booked for the things that Chris feels like he invented, like the skate thing. Everybody knows Chris has been skating, but they can't market him as a skater. Like, even though you invented that, there's nothing they can do with that because nobody really wants to skate with you. You know what I'm saying? So Usher is the skating brand. He's the face of the skating brand. That's his deal. Nobody wants to deal with you. And so there was more animosity.
Now, let's bear in mind that she might not have all the truth. She might have some of the truth. And this is allegedly. But we're going to use it for teaching purposes. Something that I recently learned in my life at the age of 33. I learned that we need to identify how people respond when they're angry. And we need to make a clear, responsible decision on what if it was me who angered that person. Would they respond differently towards me? No matter if it's family, no matter if it's friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, we need to identify how they respond and how you respond to upset, to difficulties, to disagreement. I realized recently that I respond through letting the person know how I feel, and if I have to distance myself, I'll distance myself. However, I found out recently that people respond in ways that might not be at your level of response. Some may respond with threats, some may respond with backbiting, some may respond with disrespect, and in Chris Brown and Usher situation, some will respond with putting hands on you. No matter how much, from Usher's point of view, who threw Chris Brown a party, no matter how much you show someone that you genuinely have their best interests at heart, no matter how much you show someone that you genuinely care for the outcome of their life, no matter how you show people that you have genuine love for them, does not mean that they have genuine love for you and they will pop off on you no matter how little the situation is. And now let's take, yes, he was on some substances. Let's take his mental health, his life process and his thoughts. Let's take all that into an account. And I know that some people, like myself, like my husband, like people that I have around me, we look past these things. We look past mental health, understandably so. We look past trauma, understandably so. However, sometimes it is the things that we look over and we look past that comes to slap us in the face. And sometimes, unfortunately, we have to choose our life, we have to choose our family and our safety over love. Bear in mind, when I say family, I mean your household. When I use the word family, I mean my household. Those who live in the same facility as me, my children, my husband, and myself. Sometimes, even the ones who live within our house, we got to think, is this person for me? Would this person kill me? Will this person take my life if they were upset? If I wrong this person, even accidentally, would they take my life? Would they take my spirit? Would they take my mental, my finances? Listen, the way things are in the world today, I realize we can be loving and we can be kind. We can look out for people. But there come a time where we need to realize, is the play field equal? If the tables were turned and I somehow got in a disagreement with this person, how would this person respond to me? How would this person treat me? How will this person handle me? And sometimes we wait until there's no turning back, and people will show their ugly colors over and over and over again. But we sometimes want to forgive and let go and still go buddy-buddy with this person. And I had to learn my lesson recently, that even though you love them, that even though you care about them, that even though your intentions for them are good, when the table turns, which it will, they will not love you like you love them. They will not restrain themselves like you restrained yourself. They will not speak the truth and nothing but the truth like you've spoken your truth. They will disrespect you, speak about you, spit on you, and like Chris Brown and Usher, they might even put hands on you. Your life is not worth as much to them as you think their life worth to you. And so I hope you catch this early and not be like me and catch it late. God bless. Don't be like Usher and catch it early. Usher caught it late, you see. Don't be like that. You got to catch it early. See, Chris Brown have a past of signs. He have a past of outbursts, of rage, of anger, of making the wrong choices. And yeah, you might be a good person, but you have demons that if I'm not careful, those demons are going to turn their eyes towards me. And so I'm going to love you from a distance. Do your thing. I wish you the best. But I think it's best that I draw boundaries between us, because if tables turn and you get upset with me, you will have no restraint, you will have no boundaries, you will have no respect. And some of you guys keep allowing people in your life. And you know, if you dare to disrespect these people, you don't even know if you're going to come out alive. You don't even know if you're going to come out with your mind. You don't even know if you're going to come out intact. But we keep giving our best self to people who do not deserve, not even a pinch of salt of you. And so I say to you, like I had to learn recently, like Usher had to learn, like many of us have had to endure, but some of us have not learned. It took me a long time to figure this out, to break this cycle. Leave them alone. Peace.